Hello, beautiful souls. I hope that you're all doing so well on this beautiful Monday. If you're not doing as well as you would like to be, release the worries and the stress that you're holding on to. Because a lot of it has to do with the energies that we are currently moving through as a collective. And they're big, they're heavy, and big shifts happened yesterday as well as today, and we are going to get into it. So I wanted to come on here today because we do have a new moon in Virgo. So as usual, I will be drawing cards for the zodiac signs at some point during this live. But before I do that, I did want to take some time to talk about the energies we are moving through. So Mercury finally wrapped up its retrograde cycle last week, but we are still in Mercury's post-shadow phase. So we can still be experiencing some misunderstandings, some issues with technology, glitches. We could be experiencing delays when it comes to travel and that kind of thing. In addition to that, I definitely felt Uranus's energy moving through the collective before he decided to shift into his retrograde motion yesterday. So with that being said, there's a lot moving through the collective. Uranus is now retrograde in Taurus. We have Pluto that's been retrograde in Aquarius, but is now shifting into Capricorn today. We have the new moon in Virgo, and this new moon as well as the sun in Virgo are in opposition to Saturn in Pisces. We also have Neptune in Pisces, which is also retrograde. So we have a lot of retrograde energy in the collective right now, and it's an understanding that retrograde energy is an invitation for us to slow down, to reflect, and to reanalyze and assess where we are right now. And I apologize in advance if I seem a little out of it. I'm also sick right now. So personally, a lot has happened this past week. It's been very emotional, chaotic, and I've had to do my best to try and be present with everything that's come up for me personally, as well as move through not feeling well on top of that. So if you're not feeling the best, know that as a collective, I sense that we're being, I wouldn't say initiated into the next chapter of our journey, but we're in the final stretch. And it's usually in the final stretch where we start to kind of break down. We feel worn out. We feel burnt out. And it's an understanding that we're 3/4 through the initiations these retrograde planets have set for us up until now. So again, they're big energies because they are the further planets. This is a generational impact. So we've all been feeling these energies at a certain extent. Some of us maybe more subconsciously. For those of us that are more energetically attuned to the planets, we're going to be more sensitive to these shifts. I know for me personally, when Uranus shifted, I could definitely feel it in my heart space. I could feel this pulse of electricity just radiating outwards. I also had anxiety come through at the same time, and I could just feel this palpitation of energy. So Uranus retrograde in Taurus is what I'm going to talk about first. So we have Uranus, the planet of revolution, rebellion, innovation, now retrograde in Taurus. And Taurus, hi there, I'm well. How are you today? So we have Uranus retrograde in Taurus. And Taurus, if we think about the zodiac sign for a moment, Taurus is an earth sign. It is represented by the bull. And Taurus also rules the second house. Now, the second house represents our finances. It represents our values. Yeah, there's definitely that kind of low energy moving about the collective today. So hopefully with you being in this space, what I share can uplift your energy a little bit, or at least provide some comfort, because we're going to tap into why we might be feeling energetically low. And it has to do with the planetary shifts that we're experiencing. That makes me very happy to hear. And thank you so much for joining us in this space. I appreciate that. Thank you. So as I was saying, we have Uranus retrograde in Taurus. Now, these two energies aren't necessarily complementary, because if you think about it, Uranus represents electricity, lightning bolt. It moves very quick, like a flash. And we have Taurus, that's earth. It moves slow. It's practical. It doesn't like to be rushed. But then we have this energy that wants to get stuff shaken up and moving about, right? So these two energies can naturally cause conflict. So we have Uranus that wants to kind of give you that lightning bolt, that spark to get things moving. And then we have Taurus that's more grounded and likes to take its time. So when these two energies meet, we can definitely feel the energetic shifts happen within our vessel first. And Taurus can be connected to the heart, because Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus rules the heart. So you can kind of already feel Uranian energy move primarily through the heart, is what I picked up on yesterday. And we're going to be invited to reassess what our values are now that Uranus is retrograde. And it's also going to be an invitation for us to reassess how we relate to money and finances, and where we're going to get stuck in our comfort, maybe working a 9-to-5 because it's stable, versus innovating and stepping out of our comfort zone and being the revolutionary that we're here to be, because we're all on a similar timeline where we can tap into the frequency of genius. And this is where we can unleash our creativity, but we need to allow this energy space. We need to allow it to flow, because if you think about Uranian energy at its finest point, it's Kundalini energy that wants to rise up through our chakras and really revitalize our physical vessel, really enlighten us from the inside out. And this is what Uranus is going to be gifting us while it's retrograde. It's going to be a shift at an individual level that's going to start inside and emerge outside. And any kind of physical ailments or challenges that might come up for you over the upcoming weeks since Uranus shift is going to be an indication of where you're holding on too tightly to your comfort zone, especially around finances. And it's interesting because my partner and I had a discussion yesterday about finances, and we had an enlightening conversation last week about different ways we could go about it. And then yesterday, there was a shift back into the traditional way of making money. And there was a slight regression there. So we had to have a conversation about that, because while there was a regression, usually it can indicate that there's a fear or insecurity that is ready to come to the surface. And that's exactly what it was. So for us as a collective, now that we know this shift has occurred, is to be mindful of these little insecurities, these little fears when it comes to our financial status that might be preventing us from taking that huge leap forward. And it's understanding that Uranus energy is going to cause that friction, that discomfort within your physical vessel till you finally fucking let go and take that leap of faith, because Uranus is going to catch you. He's a master at innovating and at moving society forward. And he wants to move each and every one of us forward. But we need to trust. We need to release the ledge that we're kind of gripped onto and just fall, knowing that we're going to land exactly where we need to be. And this is where it's going to get difficult, because on another kind of segue, if you will, the other kind of energy I've been picking up on is this huge energetic divide going on in the collective. So we have the future kind of new, I don't want to say new age, but kind of new world order timeline coming through. And then we have the old one falling away. So those that are still kind of heavily invested in the matrix, the old way of doing things that's not benefiting humanity as a whole, is going to start to collapse. But we're going to witness this divide more and more. And for those of us that are energetically sensitive, we're going to feel this divide, and we're going to just see it ripple out into the collective, and we're going to be able to witness it within our own communities and our own groups. So during these transit, we might notice a great shift happening within the context of our environments and our relationships. Any environment or context that you find yourself in where you naturally have to limit your light, limit your gifts, and same thing for relationships, that's going to start to fall apart. We're going to see old Taurus energy diverge away from new Taurus energy. And both these Taurian energies are going to just split off into the future and never reconnect, because they're going to become so different that there's going to be no relating possible. So we have that energy coming through for the collective at this point in time. And it's understanding that we have a choice to make. We can either allow ourselves to stay stuck in the old way of doing things, or we can try and release our grip and just trust that we're being propelled into something better, even though our human selves might be like, why am I going through this? We need to let go and know that the universe has our best interest at heart. So that's Uranus energy. Next is Pluto, which I love Pluto energy. I mean, it's chaos, it's destruction, it's death, it's rebirth, it's all the things. Can kind of get a bad rap, but anyways, I think it is probably one of the most helpful planets that we can lean into at this time. And with Pluto shifting back into Capricorn, we're finishing the last leg of our journey, because Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008 and has shifted into Aquarius periodically here and there. But Pluto is now wrapping up its final cycle in Capricorn, and then will shift into Aquarius, where it will stay for the next 20 years. So we are wrapping up a huge cycle as a collective. And for anybody that has strong Capricorn placements, cardinal sign placements, you will have felt this cycle the most. So we are going to be looking forward to ending this cycle. And this is where I'm saying that as a collective, we might be feeling out of breath, burnt out, overwhelmed, just tired and wanting to give up, but we're almost there. We're 3/4 through the journey, and this is the final kind of wrap up for us at this point in time. So with Pluto shifting into Capricorn, we have the planet of death, destruction, rebirth in the sign that rules structure, order, governments, law. So we're going to kind of see on the public scene more destruction of any structure or body of authority that doesn't actually serve humanity. Any shadows that these entities that have been trying to hide are going to be exposed. And a lot of things are going to kind of become unstable and unpredictable, because the current structures as they've been haven't been sustainable and haven't had humans or the environment, nature, animals at its heart center. And this is where we're going to be shifting into I'm not sure what the right word would be, but more enlightened form of society and governance, because the way we've been doing things is just not sustainable anymore. And that's why it's going to collapse. So Pluto is going to take care of the destruction, the collapsing. Uranus is going to provide that electric edge, that energy we need to just finally push things off the edge. And I kind of think of like the image I'm getting right now is just when there's a building that's like on an edge of like a mountain cliff, for example, and the building is no longer sustainable. So like a mudslide comes and just really wrecks that building and like takes it out to sea. And that's kind of like a landslide. So we're going to be experiencing that as a collective energetically, and just shit just really getting wiped out so something new can take its place. And it's really possible to feel and experience anxiety till that landslide happens. And once it happens, there's going to be more peace and calm finally come back, because we're going to experience some anxiety, some discomfort, because there's something big happening and coming our way. Just the same as when there's a natural kind of disaster coming our way, animals can feel it and pick up on it, and then they leave. Energetically, we're kind of feeling the same thing. So we're feeling this kind of big thing that's going to be coming for us. We just don't know what it's going to look like or when it's going to happen. And we need to just try to do our best to be patient. So that's Pluto energy coming through. And with today's new moon in Virgo, we also have the sun in Virgo. Both the sun and the moon are in opposition to Saturn. So Saturn is the planet of restriction, of limitation. And Saturn is currently retrograde in Pisces. So both those energies kind of give off their own conflictual energy, because we have Saturn that wants structure, that wants order and discipline in the sign of spirituality, which is Pisces, and a water sign on top of that. And Pisces is more a go of the flow type of energy, whereas Saturn is looking for order and structure. So that energy in itself can cause a bit of conflict. So we have that energy in opposition to the sun and the moon. And the sun and the moon are two luminaries. So the moon represents our emotions and the sun represents our ego. So we have our ego and our emotions in opposition to Saturn that's trying to create structure and order into something. But if we take a step back and look at these planets, what we really see is that there is a shift of energy going on our healing timeline. Because Virgo and Pisces rule the healing axis, according to me. So, as a collective, a lot of healing energy is coming through, and we've kind of been feeling this momentum build. And it's really being highlighted today with both the sun and the moon being in opposition to Saturn. So even though oppositions create a lot of tension, it is inviting us to look at the healing we still need to do. And the healing we still need to do is going to be based on where Virgo and Pisces sit in your own birth chart. So whatever area of life Virgo and Pisces rule over in your birth chart are going to be the areas that are going to be seeking more healing over the upcoming weeks while we are in Virgo season. Because as I've mentioned, Virgo is ruled by Chiron, the wounded healer. And as soon as we fall into Virgo season, it is an opportunity for us to revisit healing and to open ourselves up to insights in regards to where we might be blocking, where we might still be limiting ourselves. And here's the beauty of having Saturn in the mix. Saturn, though his energy can feel really stern and cold, is here to really shed light on where we're still restricting ourselves. And it's restricting ourselves when it comes to our spirituality, but he also kind of wants to put a stake in the ground and say, hey, where are you avoiding looking at certain shadows? Where are you using spirituality to escape your reality? What are you not facing and why? So with Saturn energy in Pisces, we're kind of getting this urge to ground knowingness or insights about ourselves into our physical reality, because we also have Neptune that's retrograde in Pisces. So a lot of just sensitive energy coming through. And with both Saturn and Neptune retrograde in Pisces, we're having this communication happen between both of these planets, because as I've mentioned, Saturn is trying to put some form of order in place. And with Neptune being retrograde, he's here to help our foresight. He's here to help us see things properly and deeper as well, because he's in Pisces. So any healing that's kind of evaded us so far, Saturn and Neptune in Pisces are going to help us resolve. And we're also bringing in light by the sun and the moon in Virgo. So today and the upcoming weeks are going to be auspicious for us in terms of healing and also having massive breakthroughs. But it's an understanding that before these breakthroughs occur, there's going to be tension. There might be conflict. We might feel uneasy within our physical vessel. And that uneasiness is going to remain until we take the time to introspect. Maybe go for a walk or go for tea with a close friend and really kind of try to unpack what this energy might be. And once this energy is illuminated, it's going to shift and clear out. And then we're going to be able to take that next step on our journey. But till then, we're going to feel this kind of constriction happening within our energy. So the planets right now are just really inviting us to take some time for ourselves, work on our healing, and to be compassionate as we do so and very gentle with ourselves. So that's all that wanted to come through in regards to the planets. I did want to speak to the guiding archetype for Virgo season. So I've gotten into the habit of drawing archetypes at the beginning of the year so that we know which archetype is going to be helping us when. So for Virgo season, the archetype that came out was the mother. And when I first tapped into this energy back in January, what wanted to come through was an opening to heal our relationships to our mother. And healing the mother wound is not something that's easy. For a lot of us, the mother wound goes up centuries, decades, and is imprinted heavily within our bloodlines. So unpacking our relationship to our own mother and knowing that by unpacking that relationship, we inherently unpack our own mother's relationship to her mother, and so on and so forth, there can be a lot of heaviness that starts to move through our physical vessel as soon as we make the conscious choice to start healing that relationship. And it's understanding that with the mother coming through as our guiding archetype for this season, new information might come to the surface in regards to our relationship to our mother. We might learn things about our mother that we never knew before. And it's understanding that we need to take in this information, process it, and then apply it and see how it can shift the dynamic of how we relate or understand our mother. Because all relationships are complex, but there's something particular about the mother-daughter relationship. And there's a lot of social wounding within that relationship, because it's understanding that as we take a step back from the mother-daughter relationship and really see what's at play, we notice that fundamentally the mother-daughter relationship is a relationship between women. So when we can take this lens of understanding that as a daughter we are a woman, and understand that our mother is a woman, we can start to see the bigger picture and really see how conditioning has interfered with our relationship. We can really see how patriarchy has also influenced how we view our mothers, how we view women, how we view ourselves. And it can be a lot to start to unpack, but we are invited this season to start unpacking this very relationship and to start observing and reflecting on how we relate to our mother. We love our mothers, but do we love everything that they embody, that they stand for? No. Okay, what don't we like? Why don't we like those aspects? What about the aspects that we do like, that we do appreciate? Why do we like those aspects? And then also take it a step further and observe our own behavior and see, okay, how am I embodying the shadow aspects of my mother? And how can I be more mindful and pivot in terms of behavior? And how do I embody the light attributes of my mother and continue to foster and nurture those aspects? So there's going to be a lot of introspection going on around our relationship to our mother this season as well. And it's going to be an understanding that we can expand that further out even more. So I spoke about the relationship between the mother-daughter dynamic, but when we pivot and shift into inner child healing, it's understanding that regardless of your gender, inner child healing relates to reparenting ourselves. And when we reparent, we both need to step in to being our own mother and being our own father. And again, this is regardless of gender. So with the mother archetype coming through, we're being invited to observe and reflect upon how we mother ourselves. Are we gentle and compassionate with ourselves, or are we harsh? Are we critical? Are we stern? Do we withhold love from ourselves because we don't feel deserving or worthy? So these are all themes that are going to be coming up for us as a collective during this season as well. So to just keep in mind and to start to pay attention to how you relate to your mother, how you view mothers as a whole. I mean, some people in society really have a negative view of the mother in society. You know, I'm not going to get into that right now, but again, it's observing that we've been conditioned to kind of really put our moms on a pedestal, and when they fall short, to kind of really get upset and angry. And it's realizing that now as an adult, the responsibility falls on us to unpack that relationship and those sentiments. Nobody's going to do that work for us. We need to be the ones to do that work. So, as previously mentioned, Virgo is ruled by Chiron, the wounded healer, and he's here to assist our healing journey. So we're going to have this beautiful portal of healing energy open up for us over the upcoming weeks to really dive into all this shit and unpack it. With that being said, we're going to move into the reading I have for today. So given that it is a new moon in Virgo, I'm going to be drawing a card that represents a message from the moon. And then I'm also going to draw a card that represents the mother. So this could be a message from your own mom that wants to come through. It could be a message from your inner mother that wants to come through. Or it could just be a message from the mother archetype that wants to come through. So as always, take it how it resonates. And we're going to get started. So we're just going to follow the astrological wheel for this reading. So we're going to start with Aries. So if you have Aries, sun, moon, or rising, this is going to be your reading. So let's see. Oh, and I also meant to say that after I do these lives, I download them and I do post them on to my YouTube channel. So if you guys are finding it hard to find your zodiac reading in this live because there's no timestamps, you can go onto my YouTube because my YouTube has the timestamps for the zodiac signs. All right, Aries. Interesting. So Aries, your message from the new moon in Virgo is balance, spirituality, and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. So already first out for Aries, we do have a partial lunar eclipse in Pisces happening in a few weeks, and that day is going to be very significant for you. Is the first message that wants to come out. And your mother message wants to come out right now too. So we have toadstool growth. 44. And it's interesting because with this card here, I'm getting high priestess energy coming through for you, Aries. And then we have toadstool growth with 44 coming through. And 4 in the tarot is represented by the Emperor, and the Emperor is ruled by Aries. So we have kind of like, I wouldn't say Empress energy, but for lack of a better word, Empress energy coming through, but it's like a bold, fiery Empress. Because we think of the Emperor as being that leader that's fiery, action-orientated, and then we think of the Empress as being loving, nurturing, representing harvest and abundance. But this Empress energy I'm picking up for you, Aries, is like a mix of both of those energies coming through. And this is the mother archetype that's coming through to deliver this message for you, Aries. So there's a big period of growth upon you, Aries, during this season. And the full moon energy coming through here is going to be illuminating something for you. And it's something that is going to illuminate your spiritual self, but also your practical, grounded self. And it's interesting because we have 44. So that is a very balanced number. So if you've been feeling that your energy has been kind of all over the place, there's going to be a re-anchoring in your sense of self. And this re-anchoring in your sense of self will have to do with your spiritual self, but it's also going to have to do with your grounded earth self as well. We also have the red color here on this card, and this is giving me root chakra energy. And we have blue here, which is the throat. So there's going to be a renewed sense of balance when it comes to you feeling grounded and secure within your root, and then being able to speak and express yourself from this inner groundedness and inner security. So kind of like a power glow up is what you're going to be going through, Aries, which is really amazing. So the new moon is just really bringing this into your focus. You're going to be going through a power glow up over the next few weeks. You're going to start to feel grounded again in your own energy. You're going to feel secure, safe, and from this place of safety, your inner authority and power is really going to activate, and it's going to activate your throat. So if you've been struggling to express certain things, or you've been withholding certain things because they felt too heavy or hard to say, you're going to have an easier time expressing that with these energies coming through. And it's understanding that you are going to grow tremendously during this Virgo season. You might even feel that you become unrecognizable. That's how intense this change and transformation is going to be for you. Let's see, what else? The next message that the new moon wants to bring in is it's important for you to continuously go with the flow. I'm hearing that for some of you, you might have to sit down some people and have some difficult conversations, but don't force these conversations. Allow them to naturally occur. If you're worried or stressed about the timing when you should express or share something, just put out the intention to the universe and let the universe figure out when that timing is. I'm also hearing that for a lot of my Aries, you're going to start to feel more balanced, especially as we move into Libra season at the end of this month. So again, if you've been feeling severely disbalanced and kind of all over the place energetically, balance is coming in for you. I'm also being drawn to the butterfly on this card. So this is symbolic of the transformation you have been going through. Because if you look at this card, we see this beautiful orange butterfly, but it's kind of surrounded by darkness. So you might have been feeling like that, Aries, where everything has just been kind of dark and gloomy. But it's an understanding that you had to be in this dark, gloomy space so you could grow your wings. And for a lot of my Aries, things are going to really start to pick up for you in November. So if things have felt kind of slow and you're just like, okay, when are things really going to start to get going for me here? It's going to be in November. And you're really going to start to step into this embodied kind of emperor energy. But emperor energy that's kind of mixed with empress energy. So very balanced energy in both your feminine and your masculine energy, and able to express yourself and use your throat chakra effectively. So those are all the messages that want to come through for Aries. Feel free to let me know how that resonates or doesn't resonate. I would love to hear from you. We are now going to move into Taurus. And funny enough, right before I said Taurus, I was about to say Pisces. So Pisces energy could be relevant for you, Taurus. All right. Taurus energy, let's see. All right, so let's see what we got for Taurus here. Ooh, interesting. So we have the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. So again, I kind of felt that energy of tensing up and getting kind of just wanting to hold on to something. And interestingly enough, in terms of mother archetype message, we have the willow spirit, flexibility coming through. So right out of the gate for you, Taurus, we have a need for you to step in to a more go with the flow kind of vibe, which might have been why I was picking up on Pisces energy. And for some of my Tauruses, it could be important for you to check where Pisces sits in your birth chart and what is going on in that house right now. So with Gemini energy coming through, it's really interesting because Gemini is a mutable sign. So mutable signs are the ones that initiate the change between seasons. So they are the flexible signs out of the zodiac. So you have the mutable energy coming through, kind of telling you to go with the flow. And Pisces is also a mutable energy. So there's a need for you, Taurus, to go with the flow more, not stress as much, and to just allow life to unfold the way it's meant to. We have willow spirit, flexibility coming through as well. So you're getting that second reminder that you need to just go with the flow and be flexible. I'm hearing that there's a lot of things up in the air at the moment which could be why you're seeking answers about something. And it's interestingly enough, I'm picking up real estate things. It could have to do with like housing and certain aspects like that as well. Buildings. I'm hearing portfolio. So again, it could have to do with your finances as well, where certain things are just unknown at present, but you need to trust that the answers are coming and that it's not about you pushing harder or trying to force things. You need to remain flexible. And yeah, I'm kind of getting real estate vibes really strongly. Like you might be a realtor and I don't know, or you might be looking to buy or sell a home and then like last minute things fall through. It's because they're meant to fall through because something better is coming. So you need to release your grip and be willing to be flexible with the last minute changes that come your way. Because here's the thing too, if you look at this card, it's a little fairy lady and she has wings. So you're being encouraged to let go so that you can fly. And I find it really interesting how we have a fairy that flies. And then we have Gemini, which is an air sign. So a lot of air energy coming through for you, Taurus. And you have both the moon and the mother archetype telling you to just kind of chill. And I was going to say, get out of your head. But maybe, for some of you, maybe it's about getting out of your head. And I'm kind of really picking up some of you constantly trying to troubleshoot something. Because again, you're running into some kind of obstacle and you think you can just keep plowing through it. And for some of you, this is a divine block that's being put on your path because you're meant to take a different course. And the universe loves you, Taurus, but the universe also understands that you're very stubborn. So sometimes the universe, to get you to pivot and move into a different direction, kind of orchestrates these divine blocks because otherwise you would just keep charging ahead on your current path. So the universe sets up these blocks to get you to change directions. Now, with all this air energy coming through, you can willingly change directions, knowing and trusting that the universe is doing this for your greater good, or you can keep trying to charge through the muck and see where that gets you. Because the outcome that the universe wants for you is going to be the final outcome. So you can either relax and coast till then, or you can keep trying to trudge and force things. But again, the result is going to be the same. So you can either reach that result and have been calm, or you can reach that result and have been erratic and kind of stressed and overwhelmed. We also have the number 48 coming through. So we have a 4 and an 8. And 4 represents stability. 8 represents strength. So your stability might be put into question. And that's probably why I'm picking up kind of real estate vibes. Maybe, again, real estate might be what you do for a living. And you might be really feeling that your sense of stability is being put into question during this season. And again, it's for you to develop strength. We go from the 4 to the 8. So the universe is coming through to kind of challenge your sense of comfort and stability for you to become stronger. Now, I'm picking up that my Tauruses aren't going to really like this nudge, but trust me, you're going to feel a lot better once whatever this is done with you. You're going to be like, oh my God, she was right. I feel a lot better and I feel a lot stronger now that I've overcame that. And again, the whole real estate energy keeps coming up. There might be something wrong with the deal you're trying to sign and force. And it's understanding that information is going to be revealed to you. And this information could be something that you've never faced before in your career, but now you learn something new and now you know how to scan or check for this thing moving forward. So there's definitely going to be valuable information you're going to be learning, Taurus, over the upcoming weeks. And yes, you are going to get those much needed answers, that clarity you've been seeking. It is in the books for you and it is coming, but you need to be patient and flexible. So I think That's all I'm picking up for Taurus. But for you to let me know how that lands for you. We are now going to move in to Gemini. So Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising. These are going to be your messages. Let's see. Okay. I mean, I was told not to shuffle the deck and to just take the card from the top, which is the exact same card, but that's okay. We need to follow the guidance, even if it doesn't make sense. So for Gemini, we have Don't Let Your Past Hold You Back, South Node. And in terms of Mother Archetype message, we have Willow Spirit, flexibility coming through. So same as Taurus for that card. So I'm definitely picking up that my Geminis are closing out a big cycle. A lot of my Geminis have taken big strides over the past couple months to get out of your comfort zone and to not let your past hold you back. So congratulations is in order for a lot of my Geminis because you have broken a cycle. And for a lot of you, this cycle has been kind of suffocating your bloodline. So this cycle has been passed down throughout the generations in your family until you chose to break this cycle. So whatever this is, the universe is coming through to applaud you for breaking it. And again, this could be in terms of education, family structures, what you do for a living, but you broke out of a huge cycle. And as I look at this card, for me, the fairy is facing to the right, and the right represents the future. And she looks like she really doesn't give any fucks right now. She's just ready to just move forward. And this is the energy that's coming through for you, Gemini. You might have felt held back in the past couple months especially, but you're going to be moving forward with new energy, new momentum, and you're not going to give as many fucks as you used to. And I'm picking up work energy, so if there was a lot of bullshit going on in your workspace, you're not going to give a fuck about it, and nobody's going to be able to touch you or mess with you moving forward. Because you just broke a huge family cycle. And you're not letting your past hold you back. And it's interesting because as I look at the South Node and I look at this fairy's hands, I'm going to try and place them like this. You can almost see this as being handcuffs, as though they were handcuffing these hands here. But this energy is falling away. You've broken out of these handcuffs. Interesting. So things could have to do with hands as well. Handcuffs could be a symbol of some kind for you. Maybe you spent time in jail. I don't know. But look at the paysage at the back of this card. The kind of like landscape at the back here. It's very calm. It's very serene. It's like some kind of marsh with trees, this beautiful willow here, and willows represent flexibility. They sway with the wind. They don't stress, they don't worry, and they don't snap. They sway, they move. And that's the future timeline you're stepping into, Gemini, is being more flexible. If you've had issues being flexible in the past, this is the new energy that's going to be coming through for you. You're going to have an easier time to go with the flow, and you're going to completely have released your past. So this is huge, Gemini. Oh my God. Like, if you haven't already, take some time and go and celebrate. Go have a beer or something, tacos, whatever feels good, whatever your favorite food is, because you just broke out of a huge cycle. And as I said, a cycle that's been passed down in your bloodline. So go ahead, be as free as this fairy and just fly towards your goals and your desires, and don't let anything stop you. Pursue your aspirations with an open heart. Let's see if there's anything else that I'm picking up on. No, that's pretty much all I'm getting for Gemini. So Gemini, feel free to let me know how that resonates for you, or it doesn't resonate. I would love to hear from you. We are now going to move into Cancer. So if you have Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this is going to be your message. Right, let's see here. I feel like those two want to come out, interestingly enough. Okay, so, and I was about to say Virgo. So for my Cancers, there could be something significant with a Virgo in your life. You could be meeting a Virgo. You could have Virgo placements, but there's something about Virgo energy that is significant. Okay, so your new moon card, I was going to say Virgo again. Oh my God. Cancer is adjustments are required, third quarter moon. So right away for my Cancers, there's something that you are not seeing just yet. So you might have a certain outcome in mind in regards to something, but you're going to have to pivot and make some adjustments. I'm seeing September 17th and September 19th. Now, in terms of mother archetype messages, 2 cards wanted to come out. We have Bluebird, Spirit, Happiness. And we have Phoenix, Transmutation. So I'm kind of seeing my Cancers going through a bit of a rough patch. You've either been going through a rough patch previously or are going to be going through a rough patch, and you're going to have to adjust. You're going to have to go with the flow a bit more and try not to get too rigid with what life throws at you. And it's because this energy is coming through. For my Cancers, and I'm not picking this up for all of you, you're going to be going through the flames of purification so that you can emerge as this Phoenix. But in order to emerge as this Phoenix, you're going to have to transmute a lot of dense energy that's been weighing you down. And I find it really interesting because Cancer is ruled by the moon. And here we have a moon where we see half of its face is light and the other half is shadow. So there's something you're not seeing, Cancer, but as I hold these cards like this, you see the shadow and then you see the light, and then it progresses over here into the fire and then the Phoenix emerging. So for some of my Cancers, you might be feeling in this kind of dark zone right now. You might have been feeling maybe slightly depressed, overworked, in a really shitty situation, but there's light on the horizon for you. There's illumination coming, but this light that's coming is going to ask you to transform yourself. You're going to have to transmute a lot of things you've been holding on to, things that have been your security blanket, so to speak. You're going to have to just cast that into the fire and trust that the universe has your best interests at heart, because as you progress through this journey, you have happiness over here. So even though life might be shit for a lot of my Cancers right now, this is what is coming for you. It's this happiness over here. But you need to be willing to go through, I'm kind of picking up this dark night of the soul for a couple of you, and then go through the flames of purification to emerge as the Phoenix. And when we look at the numbers, we have 29 here, so the 2 and the 9. So we have High Priestess energy coming through, and we also have the Hermit energy coming through. So for some of my Cancers, what could be very supportive for you at this time is to take some time out, away from people. Spend it alone, maybe meditating, going for walks in nature, spending time in nature, because there's something you are meant to realize, but you're meant to realize it on your own, away from others for now. And it's an understanding that with the 2 here, we have High Priestess energy. But then when you add the 9 with the 2, you get 11, which makes another 2. So there's a form of initiation taking place for my Cancers. And for a lot of you, what I'm picking up is that this shift is going to be happening subconsciously. So you might not even realize that you've been in the flames of purification and that this change has been occurring naturally within you. And then over here, we have happiness. And I just noticed this little unicorn down here. So just look at the difference between both of these cards. This is very dark. Whereas here it's bright, it's airy. We have beautiful blossoms coming out in the back. We have this beautiful bird. We have unicorns, which represents purity, mysticism, innocence coming through. So there's a new cycle coming through for my Cancers. And I'm trying to pick up, see if I can get a timeline on this new cycle that wants to come through. I'm picking up October for some of you. It's going to be November for others of you. It might even be December, but you're going to close out this huge cycle. So you might feel like shit right now because of this energy, but you're going to be moving out of it to become this phoenix and then be happier moving forward. So the main message that wants to come through for my Cancers is to just hang on. You're about to shift into this light aspect. And then there's going to be some fire, but then ultimately there's going to be happiness. So just hang on, take it one day at a time, and I promise it's going to be worth it because you're going to be like the happiest you've ever been with this card coming through. And we also have a 7 on this card. And 7 is a number that represents spirituality. So at a soul level, you're going to feel happy again. And that's really saying something. But first, you will have to go through this muck. So that's all I'm picking up for Cancer. Feel free to let me know what you are currently moving through and how this reading resonates. I would love to hear from you. We are now going to move into Leo. So if you have Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this is going to be your reading. Let's see here. All right. Okay, that's interesting. So for Leo, we have you and your loved ones are safe. New Moon in Cancer. And this card came out in reverse, which is really interesting. And then in terms of, this is so cool. In terms of Mother Archetype energy, we have Starry Night Acceptance. And I said, so cool, because look at the colors on these cards. They're basically the same colors. Wow, this is cool. Oh my god, just look at these. It's like the same colors, and then on both of these, it's just dark on the bottom. We have dark trees here, and then we have the dark moon. This is so interesting. Okay, Leo energy. So right from the get-go, Leo. The main energy that your inner mother wants you to master is self-acceptance. Just look at this person on this card. What comes to mind as you focus on their face. Everything you sense and feel as you look at this card is what you're meant to begin embodying moving forward. To me, this person looks so like zen, so calm. I'm actually picking up quite a lot from this card. So for some of my Leos, you may or may not know this about yourselves, but you may be a starseed. So starseeds are souls that have had lives in different, say, dimensions. That could also be applicable. But starseeds are beings that come from different galaxies and star systems, and they've decided to come here on Earth to expand humanity's consciousness and raise the Earth's vibration. So if some of you have been looking for confirmation if you're a starseed, this could be you, because we have stars at the back of this card, and this person is looking up towards the heavens, and a lot of starseeds feel a sense of comfort looking up at the night sky. So we have the heaven energy, but then we also have the earth energy with the trees here. So for my Leos, your inner mother archetype is encouraging you to really recenter yourself, knowing that you are fully grounded yet deeply connected to the universe, and to just be the full embodiment of this energy. And with this card here, you and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer in reverse. There's a progression happening for my Leos. You will be significantly moving forward and kind of releasing your attachments to family. So for a lot of my Leos that have kind of been feeling stuck, being overly dependent or attached to family, you're going to be releasing this energy. And you're kind of going to be this luminous crab here, venturing into the unknown for a little bit. So you might feel a little uneasy, but it's knowing that this is void energy at its finest, and anything can happen. Anything can be manifested and called into your life. So this is a beautiful opportunity that is coming through for my Leos, and you don't see this opportunity coming. It's going to take you by surprise, and for a lot of you it's going to be unexpected, but it requires you to release this attachment to family. They are safe, they are protected, and it's now time for you to spread your wings and to fly and head off to new horizons too, to go off and explore. And with Leo being the lion, I'm kind of getting that sense that you're that mature lion now that's ready to set off on its own and to go find or start its own pride. And it's knowing that your family is always going to be safe and protected. So you can venture off and go and find your own kind of, the word that popped into my head is like honey pot or pot of gold, what have you. It's time for you to just begin your own journey away from your immediate family. And it's interesting because we have the number 41, so 4 and 1, and 4 represents stability. It can also represent the family unit. So we have the 4 going down to the 1. So again, symbolizing leaving the family unit to start again with the 1 energy, which can also represent the individual. So it's time for you, Leo, to just kickstart your own journey, your own new beginning. And with today being a new moon in Virgo, it's the perfect opportunity for you to set powerful intentions around what it is you want this new beginning to be. If you weren't overly attached or dependent upon family members, what would you be doing? Really speak that into existence, Leo, because it has to do with this opportunity that's going to be coming your way. And picking up on this opportunity kind of manifesting itself around November for a lot of my Leos. So that's all I'm picking up for Leo. Feel free to let me know how that resonates. I would love to hear from you. We are now going to move into Virgo. So Virgo, sun, moon, or rising, or significant placements. This is going to be your reading. Let's see here. Oh my God. Okay, so we have you and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer coming out for Virgo. And this card also came out in reverse. And then we have, Spirit Garden of Summer. Expansion. So my Virgos could have a connection to Leo energy. Could know a Leo, could be a Leo. I don't know, but this card came out for Leo as well. It's interesting. It also came out in reverse for them. And then we have Spirit Garden of Summer Expansion. So I'm already picking up for my Virgos. Similar to Leo, it's about you leaving your comfort zone in the past, because I know it's a row of trees, but I first saw this as a fence. And just based on how the cards were positioned from my end, it's kind of the progression from this energy and this fence here to freedom and expansion. So for a lot of my Virgos, this is really interesting. So for a lot of my Virgos, even though this is the same card that came out for Leos, the energy is completely different. This energy down here, this is a shadow that you, Virgo, need to descend and face and deal with. And as you face this shadow, whatever this is about, you're going to come to this fence, this gate here. And this is where you've been holding yourself back. But you're going to have to take that final leap of faith, and then you're going to realize all this abundance, this gooey fruitfulness has been yours for the taking over here. And again, look at the contrast on these cards. Look how dark this one is versus this one. And this is also nighttime, and then we have daytime. So things are going to drastically change for you, Virgo, but there needs to be some shadow work done around whatever this is here. And it could be connected to family, since this is a new moon in Cancer, and Cancer does rule the house of family. For a select few of you, it could have to do with your emotions with moon energy here, but I'm primarily picking up family energy that you need to look at. And it's interesting because as I look at this tree, it makes me think of an ancestral tree. So for some of my Virgos, kind of tapping into your ancestors, into your roots, could be beneficial for you this season as well. I'm also seeing kind of a surprise visit from an ancestor as well with this little yellow bird here. So there's 18 apples on this tree, or they could be peaches. I don't know why, but that wanted to come through and could be significant for someone. So something about peaches, something about apples, and the number 18. Maybe you're born on the 18th. But it's interesting because as I look at this card from my angle, I only see kind of like 5 apples or peaches on this side. And then there's more peaches and apples on this side. So as I look at this card, the 5 apples or peaches are on the left, and then the abundance of apples and peaches are on the right. And the bird is also looking towards the right. So if things have kind of been financially constricted or strained, things are going to get better. And I'm hearing that for some of you, this might be an ancestral blessing coming through. You might have an ancestor up above that's putting in a good word for you to help you with your financial means, is really what I'm picking up for a lot of my Virgos. And this ancestor could be a female. Doesn't have to be, but could be a female. And then with the number 37 here, I'm kind of seeing this number symbolize a big progression that my Virgos are going to be making during this season. So we go from 3 to a 7. So this is a big jump. So a lot of my Virgos might be feeling kind of overstretched energetically, but that's because you are making a quantum leap forward. Because just, again, look at this card. We have 5 peaches here, and then we have, let me just do some quick math here. 13 apples or peaches on the other side. So you go from 5 to 13, which is quite significant. And it's interesting that the number 13 is coming through because 13 represents the divine feminine. And Virgo is a feminine polarity sign. So a lot of healing around the feminine. Again, picking up that feminine ancestor that's coming through to bless you with something in the near future as well. So big kind of financial blessings on the horizon for Virgo. But first, there's some shadow work to do. And the shadow work that needs to be done probably has to do around your financial status and your financial means. And you need to just break certain patterns, certain beliefs in regards to money. And then you're just going to manifest this abundance that's just going to naturally come through. So that was a really interesting message for Virgo. I found it to be quite significantly different from the other readings. So if you're Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, feel free to reach out because I would love to know what's going on in your life. This sounds really life-changing stuff coming your way. All right, so we're now going to move into Libra. So if you have Sun, Moon, or Rising in Libra, this is going to be your reading. All right, let's see. I love this card. We have a new start is coming, new moon. I just love the beauty of this card too. And then we have, interesting, Frog Spirit Renewal, card number 20 coming through. So right away for my Libras with the, I'm kind of getting Princess and the Frog energy here. And then like Princess and the Frog, the princess finds the right frog, kisses him, he becomes a prince, and they get married. So I'm picking up maybe a serious commitment for my Libras in the near future. With the crown, it could be a ring that I'm picking up on. I'm also picking up on like vow renewal. But kind of heavy romantic energy coming through. And it's interesting with this card too, it is a fairy that we have gazing into the water here. So definitely a start to a new chapter of your life for my Libras coming up. And you're going to feel this new beginning really start to take off as we shift into your own season, which is going to be towards the end of September. I love that. Oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of healing that happens for yourself as well as your family in that space for sure. Well, I hope you enjoy your trip and that this journey provides enriching insights for both you and your family. So with Virgo, I was going to say Virgo energy, Libra energy here, we also have the number 20 coming out. So we have the 2, which can symbolize partnership. So again, there's a new beginning that is coming through for my Libras, and it has to do with a significant other. And if things have kind of been all over the place, maybe with your significant other, your relationship is going to go through a sense of renewal. And things are going to feel brighter and better in the upcoming weeks and months. Because I'm kind of feeling that you might have been going through some heavy stuff or having some challenges, but there's a lot of light coming through. And it's interesting. I literally just noticed there seems to be a full moon at the back here of this card. And thinking about full moons, it makes me think about the full moon that we're going to be having in a couple weeks, which is going to be a partial lunar eclipse full moon. So that could be a significant date for you as well. And it's also the contrast I'm kind of noticing between this new moon and then this full moon over here. And it's the contrast between the dark and the light. So yeah, definitely feeling kind of some kind of union happening for my Libra over the next coming weeks. And it's interesting because as I look at this card, we see these beautiful lotuses, but then it looks like another fairy back here. So fairies could be significant for my Libras as well. And I'm picking up like Celtic traditions and like ways of life as well. But yeah, the new start that's coming for you, Libra, it's going to be lush. It's going to feel supportive. It's going to feel like, how can I say this? Breathing in the freshest air you've ever breathed before. Any kind of tension or worry you've been carrying is going to just fall away. And you're going to feel more relaxed in your energy with this new start that's coming. So there might still be a bit of like chaos. Some of you might be moving, going to a different location and stuff like that. So packing up and stuff might be a little stressful at first. But once you're actually moved in your space, you're going to feel renewed and rejuvenated and feel much better. So that's what I'm picking up for my Libras. Feel free to let me know how that resonates or doesn't resonate. I would love to hear from you. So we're now going to move into Scorpio. So Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. This is going to be for reading. All right, let's see. Oh, interesting. We have Don't Let Your Past Hold You Back. South Node coming through as your moon message. Gemini had the same card come through, so Gemini energy could be significant. And then we have Wild Rose Fairy, Love, as your mother archetype energy coming through. But this card came in reverse. So the main energy that's coming through for my Scorpio has to do with love, and it has to do with self-love, but also romantic love with another person, because I'm feeling that some of my Scorpios have been burned and hurt in the past, and this burn and hurt from the past is kind of preventing you from opening yourself wide up to this love that wants to come through. I'm picking up for certain of my Scorpios, there is somebody who's romantically interested in you, but you're kind of closed off energetically just because of your past and what you've been through. And it's interesting because as you look at this card, this fairy is just flying and her arms are just spread out wide, and she just looks kind of excited for the future and what she's heading towards. But this card came in reverse for you, Scorpio. So there's kind of like this hesitancy to be open to love. But it's an understanding that as you open up, it's actually going to be marvelous. And it might actually be the best thing that ever happened to you. For some of my Scorpios, this love interest might actually be your future partner and who you're meant to be with. But you need to stop chaining yourself to your past hurts and traumas. You need to let it go. Because love is around you and wants to just come and be a part of your life, but you need to let it be a part of your life. Because as you look at this card, you can kind of see this dark energy down here, and then it's bright and vibrant up here. So you might kind of be feeling down here, but you need to allow yourself to just float upwards and let the positive energy that wants to come through kind of take you on a ride. And it's understanding that love can be a little crazy. It can be a little wild. And it's time for you to just jump back on to that roller coaster and see where it takes you. Because it might end up taking you to the most beautiful destination ever. I'm kind of picking up on wedding energy for some of my Scorpios as well. And it's interesting because we have the number 47. 4 and 7. So again, with the 4, we have stability. And then with the 7, it's spiritual energy that wants to come through. So again, for my Scorpios, there's a need for you to kind of release your past and this sense of, I want to say, false comfort you've been holding on to just let go and kind of fall into the abyss, fall into the mist that wants to kind of just take you on a journey, because you're going to emerge spiritually renewed after this, but you need to let go this false sense of comfort. I'm hearing that for some of you, kind of keeping your heart locked up is what you've done to feel safe, but you need to let go that cage. You need to release that chain and just unlock it and throw away the key. You know, a lot of people say you lock something up and then you throw away the key. You need to unlock stuff and then throw away the key so you can't lock it back up. Because love is coming for you, but you need to be open. You need to take a risk, because that's the thing. Love can be risky. You know, we can be hurt, but just because you've been hurt in the past doesn't mean you shouldn't give yourself a chance at love ever again. So there's new love on the horizon for my Scorpios, but you need to release your past and just open yourself wide open. So that's what I'm getting for my Scorpios. Feel free to share what you're going through. If you know who this love interest is, I would love to hear from you. We're now going to move into Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Let's see here. Oh, that card flipped over. We're just going to go for it. Okay. Oh, I love this for Sagittarius. This is such beautiful energy. So we have faith in your dreams, waxing crescent moon. And then we have hummingbird spirit, joy. So right out of the gate for my Sagittariuses, this is your inner mother, and your inner mother actually radiates joy. This is the frequency that you are here to embody. And that is awakening for a lot of you. For others of you, you are aware that you radiate a lot of joy, and it's a matter of you owning it more and really embodying it, knowing that it is your inner mother that anchors in this energy into this existence. It is such a beautiful card, because as you look at this hummingbird, there's little stars here. So it looks like either the hummingbird is going to go suck up the little stars, or it is dropping the little stars. And you can kind of see the hummingbird has a connection with this flower here. So there could be a significant connection in your life, Sagittarius, that's going to be illuminated for you over the upcoming weeks. And this connection, whichever it is going to bring in more joy or help mirror the joy you embody back to you and kind of really rejuvenate your energy. We also have the number 22 here. So we have the High Priestess energy coming through twice. And when we add these numbers together, we get a 4. So for a lot of my Sagittariuses, you are here as a mother archetype to embody the High Priestess. And the High Priestess follows her intuition. She follows the signs and synchronicities of the universe. And no, the moves she makes don't make sense to people that operate from a logical point of view, but it's not meant to. Yet this is your path. You're meant to move from a more mystical energy, and it's grounding in this mystical energy. It's embodying it. It's living it that gives you your stability. Because even though 2 + 2 gives us a 4, and we would think Emperor energy, that's not what I'm seeing for my Sagittarius. What I'm seeing is the 2 + 2 transforming your energy into this sage, this wizard that's full of rich wisdom. And this is what you're here to embody and gift the world, Sagittarius. And this is what your inner mother archetype wants you to know. This is the gift you bring and offer to the collective. It's you just being you and spreading your joy. And the new moon in Virgo is saying, have faith in your dreams. Know that joy can and is enough to transport you to wherever you need to be. Joy is strong enough to help you manifest, to energize your faith, and to call in all the resources you need. You are this hummingbird, here to spread joy, and you need to have faith in your dreams, Sagittarius. Knowing that as you surrender and fully embody this frequency, you are going to be unstoppable, because joy is one of the highest energies we can embody. The vibration of joy is actually higher than the vibration of love, actually. So that's how powerful joy is. And it's going to help you manifest your dreams, Sagittarius. So have faith, be bold, and have fun with it. Your dreams are going to come to pass. But you need to hold on to your vision. Because I'm seeing this little butterfly here flying up towards the moon. And waxing crescent is the phase of the moon that we have after the new moon. So you are making progress, Sagittarius, even though you might not feel that way. But embodying joy is going to help you not progress quicker, but progress with more optimism. Knowing that you walk to the beat of your own drum and that you are going places. So that's all I'm getting for Sagittarius, which I found was a really interesting message. So we're now going to move into Capricorn. So Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Oh, okay. We're just going to take it. Got a couple cards coming out for Capricorn. They flipped over. Okay, Capricorn energy is really here to play today. These cards flew out. Okay, so Capricorn, and I love these cards. We have a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. And then we have believe in the impossible, blue moon coming through for Capricorn. Just look at this card. This is one of my favorites. Look how beautiful it is. And it's interesting because we have like almost complete balance with these cards. Like, look at them. We have the full moon, new moon, and then we have the scales, and then we have like this tree in the middle here. So these cards almost perfectly balance each other. Almost like masculine and feminine energy coming through for my Capricorns. Okay, so let's see your mother archetype energy. Oh my god. We have moonlight, enchantment, magic. Another full moon coming through for my Capricorns. This is so cool. So from my perspective, just kind of seeing the progression. I don't know what it's like from your angle, but just look at this. You go from a full moon to a new moon to a full moon. Oh my god. That was a very clear message. That was interesting. Okay, so for a lot of my Capricorns, there's something that you want a new start or beginning in, and it is going to take a moon cycle. Because we have full moon, new moon, back to the full moon. So we have a full lunar cycle taking place for my Capricorns. And it's interesting because the start of your cycle is to believe in the impossible. So though you might feel this darkness around you, you need to stay focused on the light, Capricorn, because things are going to get better and improve for you significantly. And then we have a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. And again, we have this luminosity taking place over here. And to me, the scales almost look like a person balancing two things. And then we have this, you can almost see this as some kind of crown. And we can have like a crescent moon crown over here. And this being a portal. So there's going to be a huge portal opening up for my Capricorns in the upcoming lunar cycle. So we have a new moon today. So I wouldn't say that this is the cycle that you are beginning, Capricorn, but I do feel that it might be the full moon partial lunar eclipse in Pisces that we have in a couple weeks, and to just track how life unfolds for you after that full moon until the next full moon, because there is some strange energy afoot, Capricorn. There's something big coming for you. And the cards aren't really telling me what it is, besides the fact that there is love involved, and that it's going to take a full lunar cycle for it to complete. So we got... So possibly the full moon in Pisces to the full moon in Aries during Libra season, or it could be the full moon in Aries until the full moon in Sagittarius and Scorpio season is what I'm picking up. Lastly, it could be the full moon in Gemini during Sagittarius season into the full moon in Cancer for some of you. So there's different timelines coming through for you, but no, it is a lunar cycle, and you are going to feel this shift because you're going to feel kind of new energy come through. You're going to feel completely different, Capricorn, is what I'm picking up on. And it's interesting because we have the card 25 here. So 2 represents the High Priestess, 5 represents the Hierophant, but 5 can also represent change. So there's change on the horizon for Capricorn, and it's quite significant change. And because it's so significant, it is going to take a lunar cycle for it to complete and manifest. But you're going to be more balanced, whole, and integrated because of it. which is really interesting. For some of my Capricorns, this change could have to do with career. You could be venturing off the beaten path and tapping into less traditional forms of money making habits or pathways. I am picking up witch energy for a lot of my Capricorns, so you could be tapping into more of your witch energy. Take that how it resonates. I'm picking up on witchcraft. I'm picking up on enchantments, magic, spells. You might be opening yourself up to this part of yourself a lot more. But that's pretty much all I'm picking up for Capricorn, with the main message being believe in the impossible, because this is the timeline you are heading into. And know that as soon as you kickstart this cycle, whenever it begins for each and every one of you, you are going to become unstoppable and fully in your power afterwards. And nobody's going to be able to fuck with you. So if you've been struggling to just really kind of take a stand, or like on occasion you're able to speak your truth, take a stand, and then on other times you kind of second guess yourself, the second guessing is going to be destroyed and washed away. And you're just going to emerge as this authority figure after this cycle. So that sounds super powerful, Capricorn. I would love to know how things unfold for you, because it sounds spectacular. So we're now going to move into Aquarius. So Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising, this is going to be your reading. Let's see here. All right, Aquarius. We have a time to give rather than take, new moon in Virgo, as your new moon message. And then we have Bluebird Spirit, happiness, as the mother archetype message coming through for you. So it's interesting. For my Aquariuses, what I'm already picking up on is volunteer work. So if you have been thinking about volunteering, or it's something you've not thought about up until now, it is being strongly encouraged, because it's actually going to bring in more happiness for you. I'm hearing volunteering with kids in need, maybe people in retirement homes. It's going to be different for each and every one of you, but it's going to bring in more happiness, and it's happiness you don't see yet. I'm kind of picking up on some of my Aquariuses feeling like, oh, I don't want to go volunteer and stuff like that. But for some of you, it's going to completely shift your energy for the better. And for others of you, you're going to meet someone significant while you volunteer. This person that's significant, it could be your future significant other, but I'm mainly picking up that for others of you, it could be an interesting collaboration partner or business partner. So you're being encouraged by the moon to give of your time, Aquarius. And it's interesting because we're a new moon in Virgo, and you have the new moon in Virgo card that comes out. So Virgo energy is also significant for my Aquarians. You could meet a Virgo person. You could have Virgo placements that are significant. I'm also picking up volunteering in a school. So if some of my Aquariuses, you have children, going to volunteer at your kid's school for something. I don't know if there's like a bake sale or something, or activities. I'm kind of curious. I want to know volunteering. It's just so random. At the bottom of this deck, we have don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. And then at the bottom of the other deck, I was going to say dog. We have Spirit Guardian of Winter Retreat. For all the other zodiac signs, it was like a clear kind of message coming through. But for, I was going to say Virgo, yeah. For Aquarius, the main word that wants to come through is volunteer work. Which I find just so random. Let's see, I might try and pull a clarifier for Aquarius. Let's see if I can get more details on this. So your clarifier is Willow Spirit. Flexibility. That's coming through for Aquarius. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So for Aquarius, your mother archetype, that energy that's coming through is happiness. So this is letting me know that in terms of feminine energy, you are here to exude happiness. And happiness is also flexible, able to go with the flow. So your inner mother is definitely here to give and provide something to the collective. Again, I keep hearing children. So maybe you're meant to, like, I don't know, go in another country and help build schools. Maybe you're meant to help at a daycare of some kind. Your clarifier card is conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse. So whatever this is going to be kind of illuminated or brought to your attention during eclipse season for sure. But it's really interesting that it's volunteer work. That's the main theme, and that you're going to be able to spread more happiness through doing volunteer work. So the new moon is basically urging you, Aquarius, to just give your time to others if that's not something you're already doing. So that's pretty much all I'm picking up for Aquarius. I know it wasn't kind of a timeline or anything like that. They just keep telling me volunteering, volunteer work, give your time. That's all that's pretty much wanting to come through for you, Aquarius. I'm kind of hearing it's time for some of my Aquariuses to take a bit of a back seat and let others take center stage as well. And it's interesting, in terms of clarifier cards, when I look at them from my end, I see this energy on my left, and we see kind of like the moon hidden by these trees, and then we see this fairy that just seems to be completely relaxed. So there's something you also need to release and let go of, Aquarius. There's something you're holding on to that needs to go so that you can begin a new cycle. And it's a new cycle that's deeply connected to Virgo energy. So wherever Virgo energy sits in your birth chart is going to be significant for you. And whatever it is, it leads to happiness. So that's all I'm seeing for you, Aquarius. I would love to know what's going on in your life, because this was a very unique reading. So we're now going to move into Pisces. So Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising. This is going to be your reading. Let's see here. I feel those two. Let's see. Okay, so we have Ooh, a new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra for Pisces. And then a couple cards wanted to come out in terms of mother archetype. So we have Toadstool, Growth, card 44. And then we also have Butterfly Spirit, Transformation. And this card came in reverse. So there's definitely a growth cycle coming through for Pisces. And for a lot of you, it does have to do with a significant other. Well, feel free to let me know if volunteering somehow makes its way into your life. Because I found the Aquarius reading to be particularly interesting and unique compared to the other zodiac signs we've covered so far. And it's interesting for Pisces because you have 44, which makes an 8, and then you have an 8 over here as well, even though this card was in reverse. So kind of similar to Aquarius energy, actually, like this reading. All the other signs, it was like really specific what wanted to come through, but this is kind of, I'm just seeing kind of just glimpses and just pictures of just random things. So there's definitely a transformation that's going to be happening for my Pisces that you don't see yet. That's why this card is in reverse. But it is going to be triggered by growth that is going to be coming your way. And this growth has to do with this new cycle that's also coming your way. And this cycle could have to do with a significant other. Or it could be a significant relationship. So there's a lot of growth and transformation coming through for Pisces, and it has to do with a specific relationship. And it's interesting because there's a butterfly on this card, and then this woman is a butterfly. Well, has butterfly wings. And it's really interesting because this card is like really woodsy with like mushrooms and stuff. And then in this card, we have the woods and the forest down here. But then this being is up in the sky in this clam. And there's a pearl. So definitely kind of mystical experience happening for Pisces in the upcoming weeks. I'm sensing a type of journey because we go from the toadstool with growth and the forest to the forest becoming very small in this card and kind of faded out to focus on this being with wings in this clam in the middle. So there's something, Pisces, you're going to have to leave behind, something that kind of allowed you to ground and maybe provided some stability with the 4 energy here to kind of embrace this unknown energy. But it's unknown energy that's going to lead you to inner strength and might also lead you to your wings as well. So if you felt as though things haven't been taking off for you, they are going to. And I definitely sense that this is going to happen around November for a lot of my Pisces. And it might also be your significant other that helps you kickstart this transformation journey as well. And it's interesting because you notice like the spear shape here and then the sphere of the pearl. And saying the pearl made me think of the black pearl. So Pirates of the Caribbean could be significant. Or maybe you feel drawn to watching Pirates of the Caribbean. Or it could be helpful for you to watch Pirates of the Caribbean because there could be some insights for you in regards to this transformation that's going to take place. But I'm definitely picking up for my Pisces, you're going to be developing and spreading your wings. And it's interesting because not only is there a pearl at the back, but she's also holding a pearl. So maybe look up what pearls mean and kind of intuitively tap into what pearls symbolize for you, because that's also going to be significant. But big changes coming through for Pisces is what I would say. And it's changes that are probably going to be initiated by someone close to you. And it's going to create a lot of positive growth, and you're ultimately going to get your wings and feel so you can fly. And I'm seeing the pearls as little blessings that are going to come your way that you don't see coming just yet. So those are all the messages I'm picking up for Pisces. Feel free to let me know how that resonates or doesn't resonate. And I am now going to close out this reading. So thank you to everybody that has joined and stopped in. It was lovely to have your energy in the space. And as always, if you are looking for more personalized support, feel free to check my website. I am thedragongoddess.com. I would love the opportunity to serve you. Until next time, I'm sending you so much love.